Oh, and I can't record.
Hi, everybody. It's Amy Lydia. Thank you for joining us. We have a very special guest tonight, Alana. She is going to be leading us tonight in a chair yoga and a meditation. Super excited to have this new meditation and yoga for us all. And this is really the first time that I've incorporated a meditation yoga part to my wellness program officially. So I'm super excited about it because I am a huge proponent of course, this being a lifestyle and not just about the food that we eat, but also about the words that we think, the words that we say, and how our mind, body, spirit are all aligned. So I'm very hopeful that we enjoy this and have a great time. And thank you so much, Alana. I will let you take it from here.
Great, thank you. And I think I'm pinned to the screen, so I
Okay, perfect.
do well. So yep, my name's Alana. Thanks so much for joining us for the yoga tonight. Just a quick little disclaimer that just make sure you're taking care of your body. If I tell you to do something that doesn't feel right for your body, you don't do that. You just do something else. You can always contact me. We can give you some other ideas if there's more you want to do, but making sure that yoga shouldn't be painful. Sometimes there's pressure, sometimes there's challenge, but there should never be pain in yoga. Another big part of yoga is the breath. So one of the things that we want to connect is our breath, our body, and our mind. And as we do that, we're sitting tall, we're getting this great posture. Our lungs are opening up so that we can have better breath. When we have better breath, we connect better to our mind and to our body. So making sure we're breathing. We could even just sit tall, close our eyes and relax for 30, 40 minutes. And that could be yoga tonight. So it's not going to be, I promise we'll do some movement. But without any further ado, we'll get a little bit of movement here. And a big thing I like to think about is posture. And so of course I'm sitting here at a chair. I just have a regular folding chair here, except mine doesn't have a back on it. You can be in any sort of a office chair or your kitchen chair, just as long as it's sturdy. I don't want you to push down and tip over. So be aware of that. So as we settle in, let's go ahead and just start to close our eyes and just notice the body. Notice where you're at today. Feel free to bring the shoulders up to the ears and then drop them down the back. And let's do that again. Maybe even a couple of circles, inhaling shoulders up. Then exhaling shoulders down. One more time, inhaling shoulders up. And exhaling, shoulders dropping down the back. Beautiful. Feel free to keep the eyes closed. If that doesn't feel comfortable, just gaze down the tip of the nose. We want to try to lower the eyes, which helps us to quiet the brain. We'll relax our hands. I've just got my hands on my thighs. In fact, I'm just going to scooch my chair back a little bit. See if that helps you to see me. And so I've just got my hands laying and resting in my lap. I'm lifting my sternum up and away from my hips. And then if I'm comfortable to lean back against the chair, I'm going to now take my spine away from the chair. I'm going to grow my spine taller as if I came around and just pulled a couple hairs straight up towards the ceiling. Let me notice here, what effect does this have on the body, on the mind? When I talk about the breath, I like to think about the lungs as a barrel with three distinct parts, a bottom third, a middle third, and an upper third. So as we breathe in, I want you to think about breathing in to fill the bottom of the barrel, then fill the middle third, and then fill all the way to the top of the barrel before we turn the breath and exhale from the top, from the middle. As we press the air out of the lungs, I want you to feel the belly button pulling slightly in and up to help empty the lungs of that breath. And we'll just sit quietly for a few moments, noticing that inhalation and that exhalation. Imagining you can see the breath with your mind's eye, that coming in and going out. Steady breath in. Belly, ribs, chest filling. Smooth, steady breath out. Chest, ribs, and belly emptying. I do like to read a passage from time to time in my practices. So I just have a book called A Year of Living Your Yoga. And I like the message today. It's just a short statement with a little blurb about how you might live this yoga in your life. So continuing to sit tall, allowing the eyes to relax. The mouth is soft, the jaw is relaxed. And again, we're just noticing that breath coming in and gently going out. And our comment or little phrase today says, practicing yoga is a loving act of respect. I'll read that again. Practicing yoga is a loving act of respect. And our author says, in your practice today, treat your body with the respect you would give to my body. Sometimes I think we're pushing ourselves a little too much. So what a great time to just settle in and relax and honor our body and respect our body. And that's part of the yoga. One more steady breath in. As we exhale, let's go ahead and gently dip the chin downwards, allowing that heavy head to hang to the front. Just like a ripe grape might dangle from the vine, let that head hang to the front. Feel that stretching in the back of the neck, maybe into the shoulders a little bit. And we pause and we breathe. As we find our next inhalation, I'm going to roll my right ear over to the right shoulder, allowing the head to just dangle over to the right. Feeling the left side of the neck opening up. Continuing to relax the jaw, the tongue, the lips. Steady inhalation. On our exhale, we'll drop the chin down. And we'll inhale, find that left ear coming over towards the left shoulder. And we get there, and there's no hurry. We're not going anywhere else. Just pausing, letting the muscle fibers open up. Steady inhalation. And a smooth and steady exhalation. As we inhale, let's bring the head back up to neutral. You can keep your eyes closed and just listen to my voice, or if it's more comfortable, feel free to blink the eyes open. I'd like you to make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor. You could even check them out, see if you can make the feet parallel. And go ahead and lift up the toes, kind of wiggle them around. See if you can spread your toes and then press them into the earth. So feel those feet as a base. Often we don't even think about our feet. They take us all over the place all day long. So just give them a moment to press the earth and appreciate the feet. Feel them spreading wide. Underneath us, our bottom is our seat and our foundation here. So I'm going to reach down, find the bony part of my bottom and move the fleshy part back and away. I'll do that to the other side, spreading that seat, giving ourselves a nice wide base, a nice steady, sturdy foundation. From that base, our feet, our seat, we rise the spine up. So thinking about posture here, often it's quite easy to just being comfortable, right? Maybe kind of hunching forward. And then in our lives, in our desks or in our phones, right? Or reading a book, right? Or even our cooking, right? We're kind of getting into this hunching forward. So what a great opportunity to lift the heart and to broaden across the chest, broaden across the collarbones. Also think about, I know you can't see your own backside, but broadening across the back body as well. All of it, spreading wide. Sitting nice and tall here. Again, just softening the eyes, softening the mouth. Steady breath in. And a steady breath out. And of course, what would some self-care be without a little massage. So I'm going to take my fingers and just kind of walk them up and down my neck. And then if it feels, so just a little tapping up and down. And if it feels okay to dig in a little bit, go ahead and dig in. Now I'm onto the trapezius up at the top of the shoulders, the kind of upper back, which for me is very tight. Then I'm going to cross my arms. I'm going to get my shoulders now. And I'm going to come down the arms. And I'm kind of palming, so I'm just kind of using pressure, maybe even warming those muscles. I'm coming down my forearms now, down to the wrists. Give a little attention to the hands here. So squeezing one hand and squeezing that other hand. Beautiful. From here, I'm going to stretch one hand forward. Go ahead and turn the palm face up and let the fingers go towards the floor. I'm going to take my other hand. I'm just going to draw my pinky finger backwards, getting a nice little stretch. I'll take my ring finger, a gentle stretch back. And my middle finger, a stretch back. And my pointer finger, a little stretch back. And I'm going to stay on the underneath side. I'm going to do the same thing, pulling my thumb back. Feel free to spread out that whole palm. Beautiful. For just a moment, set the hands on the thighs. Continue to sit tall and notice, is there a difference in the hands? You might notice a considerable difference. You might not notice a difference at all, and that's part of the practice. I'm going to get my other hand ready now, so I'll send my other hand out, palm faces up, and then reaching my fingers towards the floor. Taking my pinky finger and drawing that finger back. Ring finger. Still steady with my breath. Relaxing the jaw, not letting the jaw clench. I'm onto the middle finger and the pointer finger. And coming underneath, just grabbing my thumb and drawing the thumb back. Spread those fingers. Then let's lay both hands again back in the lap. And is there a sense of equalness, equanimity perhaps? Let's take the palms together. I'm going to press the palms, press each of the fingers together, let them match up. Press those finger pads together as if those fingernails had magnets to each other. Now I've got this broad base of my thumbs and I've got my sternum, and I'm going to place my thumbs along my sternum and lift the sternum up to meet the thumbs. Take a moment to roll the shoulders away from the ears and press the hands together. Notice if pressing makes the jaw tense up, see if you can keep that soft. Steady breath. One more breath here. Beautiful. We're going to do a little twisting here. Sneak back just a little bit more. We're going to twist to our side. I'm going to go to the right first. So go ahead and take your left hand, take it over to the opposite leg, and see if you can take your right hand off to the side of your chair. Continue to sit up nice and tall. And you might let your eyes drift back over that right shoulder. If it suits you, you might even take hold of your chair. If you're on like a party chair like me, a folding chair, you might be able to grab the back of the chair. Deepening the twist as much as is comfortable for my body. Feel that lengthening in the side body, sinking shoulders down. Steady breath in. And as we exhale, maybe a little deeper twist, maybe letting the eyes drift back a little bit more towards the wall behind us. Let's inhale to unwind. Take a moment to notice, is there a difference from one side to the other? Now I'll be twisting to the left. So I'll take that left hand to the right thigh and my left hand over to just to the back end of the chair. So it might even be the seat of the chair, or if I've got a chair I can grip on. If you're sitting in a chair that has a armrest, you might just hold that armrest. Sitting tall, feel that broad base. Feel the feet equal. Inhale to sit tall. And exhale, you might pull against that thigh to twist around little by little. Continue to release the shoulders away from the ears. Enjoy that nice long neck. Inhale. Exhale, maybe a little deeper twist if it feels okay to grip anymore. Maybe letting those eyes drift back behind us any amount more. Enjoying length in the side body, length in the neck. One more inhale. Smooth and steady exhale. We'll inhale back to the center. Sitting tall, taking a moment there. I'm going to next clasp my hands, so I'm interlacing my fingers, finding the webbing of my fingers. We'll sink the shoulders down. We're going to press the palms away. As much as is comfortable, see if you can grip the elbows. You're looking at your elbows, so see if you can go from bent elbows to gripped elbows. Think about that sternum lifting up between the arms. Sink the shoulders down. Feel free to stay here, or if it's comfortable, raise the arms up overhead. So now you don't get to see my hands, but they're still interlaced. And we're seeing if we can draw those upper arms in evenly towards the head, framing the head as much as is possible. Notice your base. Sink the tail. Lengthen the spine. Press those palms up. See if you can grow a little taller. See if you can grip those elbows a little bit more. Upper arms in towards the head. And what happens to the face? Do the eyes go up? We want to keep the eyes quiet, maybe gazing downward slightly. Did the jaw clench? Relax the mouth. One more breath in. Then we'll exhale, release the hands down. And I'm going to switch the interlace of the hands. So I usually do one thumb on top. Now we're going to undo and do maybe the side that you don't usually do naturally. Now it might feel awkward. If it feels awkward, that means do it more. Practice it more till it doesn't feel as awkward. Sink those shoulders down. This time we're going to start by taking the backs of the hands on top of the head. Let's kind of scooch down so you can see me. So I just got the backs of my hands, still sitting tall. Sink those shoulders away from the ears. Let's go ahead now and extend the palms up towards the sky, drawing those upper arms in towards the head, finding that grip in the elbows. Notice if you're, I'm going to turn to the side, if your hands are far forward and you can see them, your arms, see if you can bring them back any amount. Maybe you can bring them back a little bit more, but be aware not to or arch the back. We never said we're arching, we're spreading our seat, we're pressing that tailbone downwards, lifting the sternum, lifting the side body, lifting the back body. One more inhalation. Then we'll exhale, release those hands back down. Beautiful. Little cat and cow, seated cat and cow. So I've got my hands to my knees or my thighs. And I'm just going to inhale, arch and round the spine forward. If it's comfortable to lift the chin, go ahead. And I'm going to exhale, round the spine to the back of the chair, tuck the chin down. Feel free to make this a flow. Feel free to match the pace to your breath. With all the words spilling out of Alana's mouth, sometimes my pacing is not what you would prefer. So feel the breath, feel the pace that feels good for you. Inhaling to breathe in, fill the belly, ribs, chest. Chin might rise if it's comfortable for the neck. As we exhale, rounding the spine, pressing the spine back, tucking the tail, tucking the chin. Let's find another 3 or 4 breaths here. Again, just moving, enjoying the movement, enjoying this soft movement of the spine. Feet are our base. Our seat is our base, our bottom. So make sure that's helping to support us. We're appreciating that support for our bodies. On our next inhale, let's find our neutral spine. So just come back to what's comfortable. I'm going to do a little heart opener here. So I'm going to reach back behind me. Now, some chairs you're going to be able to grab onto. If you can grab the chair and scooch your buns to the front of your chair, that might feel nice. This feels nice, a nice heart opener. If you don't have the ability to do that on whatever chair you're on, I'll turn around and you might reach behind you, maybe grab the wrists. If you can get the wrists, get the forearms. If you can get the forearms, get to the elbows. Sink those shoulders, lift the sternum. Soften the jaw, soften the eyes. Now, if you're clasped the way I was doing here, you're going to switch the other arm closer to the body. If you're still holding onto your chair back or the arms of the chair, feel free to stay there for another couple breaths. So if you're switching, you're just finding the other forearm coming closer to the body. You might have to separate and go to the wrists, move to the forearms, and moving to cup the elbows if that's comfortable. Release the shoulders and find that belly, ribs, chest inhalation and a smooth and steady exhalation. Beautiful. Release the arms and pause with the hands on the thighs. We're going to take our legs next. I'll sneak back a little bit more. So I'm going to just cross one leg over the other. And I've got my ankle up on my knee. If this is not possible or not comfortable, you can always keep your leg out in front of you. I'm just going to maybe play with some pointing and flexing with my leg straight. Or if I'm able to cross over, here's my point and flex with my foot. Just circle that ankle around and circle it the other way. And since that foot is there, I think it's needing a massage. So I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to pinch the flesh of the heel. That's that real tough skin there. So give it a pinch, kind of get rough with that rough skin. Going to the arches. Now I'm using my thumbs to dig into the arches of my feet. Moving right along to the ball mounds of the feet. And of course, you could pause this when it's recorded. You can pause this and just do this for a little bit longer. That's fine. Then now a little attention for the toes. So I'm going to just take my pinky toe and I'm just kind of rolling it, just a little roll of that pinky toe. And then I'm going to pull it. And my ring toe, would that be your ring finger toe, ring toe? The next toe next to your pinky, do a little roly and a pull it off. Not really. And your middle toe, just a little attention for it. You can pull, you can roll it. And again, whoop, just pull it right off. And your second toe, give it some pulling, maybe a little roll and pull. And that big toe. Again, some attention. You might have some nice flesh there that you can kind of push into there. Some rolling, some pulling, and pull right off. Beautiful. Now I'm going to use my hand. Now we did our ankle before. Now I want you to use your hand to really get a little deeper into that ankle circle. Move in one direction. So just notice with your hand and your arm doing some of that work, you can get a little deeper circle, maybe a little more flexibility. Go the other direction if you haven't already. And we'll undo that leg, take that leg down. Before we do the other foot, just pause. Notice maybe there's some new warmth in that foot. Maybe there's some new energy. Let's cross that second leg over. And again, you can have your foot in front. Maybe you're doing some pointing and flexing or circling there. It's a nice option to sit tall and let that foot be energized. And again, just take a moment to just let that ankle without your hands, just spin it around once, twice, spin it the other direction. And now let's give that foot some attention. So find the heel of the hand, pinch the flesh maybe, poke into it, maybe your fingernails can poke. Give some attention then to the arches of the feet. I like to use the thumbs to dig in to the arches. Don't forget about that outer edge of the foot. Give that some attention. Moving up to the ball mounds, the big toe ball mound under the big toe. Again, that's that thicker flesh. You might be able to pinch, pull that flesh, get rough there. Moving to the ball mound under the pinky toe. And then let's give some attention to our toes. So again, just a gentle pull, a little roll or twist for that pinky and pull it like you're gonna yank it right off, but don't really do that. And then we'll take the second toe, a little rolling, a little pulling, and pull it. Continuing right along. this attention to these wonderful feet that carry us through our days, do a lot of work. Sometimes we just don't give them enough attention till we go get a pedicure, right? So we can do this ourselves. Roll, pull, and yank. And the big toe, again, maybe a little massaging for that thicker skin there. A little rolling, pulling, and yank. Beautiful. Set that, no, we're going to circle the ankle around. So now use the hands to get a little deeper circle. Right, so we did it without the hand, but go ahead and use a little bit more force. Maybe not force is not the best word, but some pressure. Go the other direction. Beautiful. Go ahead and relax that foot down. And just notice for a moment, without any hurry to do the next thing, how do the feet feel? Is there a sense of balance? Is there a sense of equalness? Maybe we don't notice any difference at all, and that is perfectly okay. So I have another posture called the eagle pose. Garudasana would be the Sanskrit. And in Winona, where we live, we get to see lots of eagles. So it's a wonderful pose to practice. And it's a great pose for stretching this back side of the body. We've opened the heart up a little bit here. So now we're going to stretch across the back, which can tend to get tense because if we're at our desks all day, it's this hunching and then the gravity takes over. So we want to try to really stretch that part of the body. So I'm going to give some options. Our first option, the very first modified version, we're going to go to 2 right angles here. And I'm pressing my elbows and I'm pressing my palms together. Perfectly okay to stay here, drawing the shoulders down, elevating the elbows, and then pushing the hands together. If you'd like, go ahead and cross one elbow up and over. Then you might press the backs of the hands towards each other. Just an option. If it feels okay to maybe spiral the hands up. Now, if you can see from the side, I've got the fingers touching that fleshy part of my thumb. Again, just an option. From here, sink the shoulders and elevate the elbows. Soft gaze through the wrists or towards the wrists. Relax the eyes, relax the jaw, relax the tongue. How's that broad seat? How's the feet pressing into the earth? Let's undo those arms and go back to the 2 right angles. We've got that other elbow coming up and over. Lift the elbow across. Backs of the hands together is an option. Stay right here if you'd like, or circle all the way up. Sink the shoulders and elevate the elbows. You can also play around with perhaps bringing the hands towards the head, or seeing if you can move those hands away from the face. Won't be a very big movement, just a very subtle difference, something to pay attention to. We'll go ahead and unwind. Then go ahead and relax those arms down. And again, notice that broad sensation across the chest. Tilt my screen a little bit here. And eagle legs are next. So I hope that you can see this okay. I keep getting further away from the screen. I hope you can still hear me. So now I'm going to take my eagle legs. So just like we tied our arms up in a knot, which by the way, most yoga is not all about tying ourselves in a knot. This eagle pose happens to be. We're going to take one leg and cross it over the other. See if you can bring that ankle towards the standing. So we have our 1 foot standing pressed into the floor, and we see if we can bring that ankle towards the shin. If it's comfortable, I might wrap those toes around the other leg. Just to lift my feet up, you can kind of see this twisting action going on. And of course, we stop at what feels best. So maybe you've just crossed and that feels best, and you can work towards getting that ankle in towards the leg. If it feels okay to wrap, you can wrap. Beautiful. We'll unwind that, press that foot down. Let's take that second leg, lift it up, cross over if it feels and if it's comfortable and if it's possible for you to cross. Some people are not supposed to be crossing over. So if you've had hip surgeries, I'm sure your doctors have said no, none of that crossing. So you're just sitting tall. You can always redo the arms. And you might notice one side is different from the other. I can wrap those toes around if I help myself out. Sit tall, enjoy the support from your bottom, sink the shoulders. And then of course, the next step would be to put those together. I'm not going to have us do that today, but that would be something you can practice, and you can also practice doing them standing, but we're just doing chair yoga. Let's undo that crossover. Beautiful. We got just a little warrior posture next. So I'm just going to turn my one leg out to the side, and I'm going to wiggle my other leg back behind me. So getting a nice little bit of a back bend here and a nice opening in my inner thigh. Now, as a warrior, you might send your arms out to the sides, sink those shoulders down and extend out through those fingertips. Steady breath in. And a steady breath out. You might allow your eyes to extend and look out over your fingertips. And I'll lower the arms. And I'm going to use my hand to bring that back leg in and my bent leg back to the front. I take a moment to pause and sit tall. And then I'll go to the other side. So I'm going to widen my first leg over to the side. And I'm going to wiggle my other leg back towards straight. I might wiggle off the chair a little bit, getting a little hip stretch there, a little bit of a back bending, arching there. And again, extending the arms forward and back. Sink the shoulders, reach out through those fingertips. And then maybe take a look out over your front middle fingers as long as you don't have any door there. Soft jaw, soft eyes. And we'll relax the hands down. And I'll use my hands to carefully bring my back leg in. And I'll bring my front leg around. Beautiful. I'm going to scooch up just a little bit here. We're coming to the end of our practice. So we'll just do a little bit of quiet sitting, a little bit of meditation. And again, I think I said at the beginning that you could have sat tall, noticing your breathing for the whole 35-ish minutes that we've been practicing. So that could be yoga. So for just a few moments here, again, find your seat, move the fleshy part away from the bony part, allow the feet to be comfortable and on the floor, and then take your hands palms up on your thighs. If you have a chair with a back, again, you're going to try to pull away from that back to sit up tall. Relax the shoulders, and we'll follow our breath in and out a few times. As I sit tall, I'm allowing the eyes to soften, perhaps closed, maybe just gazing down the tip of the nose. I'm gonna let my toes relax, and I let my ankles be relaxed. The joints of the knee are relaxed, knees are relaxed. Got that great support under our sit bones, and our hips are relaxed. We're stacking our spine straight up towards the sky. Our shoulders are relaxed. We allow the elbow joints to be soft and relaxed. The wrists are supported by the thighs, and they're relaxed. Letting all the joints in between all those fingers be relaxed and soft. We relax our throat. We relax our jaw. Relax the tongue. In fact, if you can let the tongue soften to the bottom of the mouth, and sometimes just touching the very tip of the tongue to the inner upper teeth can be a way to place the tongue so that it doesn't move around or start to clench up against the teeth. Let the muscles of the cheeks relax. We again allow the eyes to be cast downwards, allowing the eyelids to be heavy. The eyebrows are soft and relaxed, and that spot between the eyebrows where sometimes we're squinting and that spot gets very tight and we start to make some wrinkles there. So let that spot be soft. smooth. Allow the forehead to smooth out and relax. And notice the scalp that holds those hair follicles all day. Can we relax the scalp? And within our scalp, our skull, and within our skull, our brain. We allow that brain with all its heavy thoughts to just soften. Let it rest. And this is a great time to just notice the breathing, to allow the mind's eye to follow the breath in and out without making any efforts to count it, not making any efforts to control our breath. But we might play witness to our breathing as if we were noticing it for the first time. It's doing it all day long and we don't have to think about it. So maybe just appreciate that breath. Appreciate this marvelous wonder that is our body. Doing all these amazing things without us even trying. And of course, if you have the time to pause your video or to stay here a little longer, feel free to do so. If you're ready to start moving, I encourage you to keep the eyes quiet or closed until the very end of our practice. And at that time, see if you can allow the light to gently filter in through the eyelashes and then to the eye, rather than popping the eye open and reaching out for the light. So from here, I'll just find a little wiggle in my toes as I breathe my breath all the way down to the legs and to the feet and wiggle the toes. I'll send my next breath down my arms right to my fingers, wiggle the fingers. Then you might circle the wrists or circle the ankles or circle all four. We'll take our hands together in prayer at our heart. We did this earlier where we pressed our palms together. Then we lay the thumbs along the sternum, lifting the sternum up. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. One more time here. Find a nice steady breath in. Then on our exhale, we'll bow down to our heart. We'll bow down to the teacher within each of us. And we'll bow down to honor this wonderful body of ours tonight or today, whenever you might be practicing. We usually end a yoga class with the word namaste, which just means that the light in me honors the light in you, or the yogi in me honors the yogi in you, or the teacher in me honors the teacher in you. So I thank you for joining me today. Namaste.
Namaste.
And from there, you can feel free to blink open the eyes. And I think we'll be stopping the recording.
Hey, thank you, Alana.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, thanks Megan.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
Have a good night.
You too. Thank you for joining. All right.